my voice might wake up the baby, but she's sleeping right now. Um, and I'm going live from our living room, which has pretty much been where I've been setting up camp since we got home. Um, I go upstairs to sleep at night, but pretty much I stay on the couch. um, it's been 1 week since we had little baby Amelia. I know last week when I first talked to you, we didn't have a name yet. So we have settled on Amelia Morgan Hicks, and she's wonderful. And I'm very excited to share our, well, excited isn't it the right word, I would say. I am happy to share how our experience has been so far. I'm going to try and set this up somewhere where I don't have to hold the phone the whole time. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. So I apologize for the angle here and the burp cloth. All right, no apologies. Yeah, it's been a week, a blur. The last time I gave you an update was the day that Amelia was born, so it was last Monday. She was born at a little after midnight. And the last time I talked to you, we didn't have a name yet, so now you know her name. And also last week when I talked to you, we didn't know her arm was broken, but it was, and she was a champ. And we, we, among many doctors and nurses, missed it until Tuesday afternoon when they were doing the car seat check, which is, I guess, something they do with babies now. They make sure that the baby can stay in the car seat for 2 hours in the hospital without any complications of breathing or something like that. And the nurse who was helping with that noticed that she wasn't moving her arm the same way that, or her left arm, the same way that she was moving her right arm. And then they did an x-ray and confirmed that the arm was broken. This was really hard to hear. We're sitting in the hospital, I'm recovering, and we're sitting in the room, and I'm on pain meds and just still kind of dealing with everything else that's going on. And a doctor comes in to break this news to us, and the first thing, of course, that goes through my mind was, what did I do? Did I hold her wrong? Did I try to put on her little like onesie incorrectly? And that turns out, and I was told this many times, that it probably happened during the C-section delivery. My uterus is shaped in a way that I guess made it a little bit more difficult, and she was positioned in a way that also made it more complicated. And I haven't read the results or anything, like the whole not story, but report. I don't even know if I can see something like that, but I believe it was said that like her cord was kind of not wrapped around her neck, but like wrapped around her too. So there were multiple things that made delivery via C-section complicated. So it sounds like maybe her arm had gotten caught on the way out, and that's what caused a break. Now, here's the cool stuff, guys, that I learned. Babies are extremely resilient. In fact, their bones heal on their own. So there's nothing we have to do other than just don't pull on her arm. So what will happen to her, her fracture, so it's in her upper left arm. I guess a ball will kind of form over it on the inside, and then it'll be reconnected, and she'll be able to start moving it again. And then after a few months, that ball naturally goes away, and we'll never know, she'll never know that she ever had a broken arm. It's absolutely incredible. But as, first time, parent, it's extremely scary to hear that update, that your brand new baby has a broken arm. So we're happy though that that's the only thing that really seems to be wrong or, a complication with her baby, considering she was born 3 weeks early. So she was born at 37 weeks, pretty much on the dot. Like she was born at 12:31 a.m. On July 31st, making her exactly 37 weeks, which is term. So she didn't have to go straight to the NICU if she was born, I guess, at even 11:59 on July 30th. Apparently, she would have had to go to the NICU technically. So it's crazy how that kind of worked out. But when they discovered she had a broken arm on Tuesday afternoon, she did have to go to the NICU. So what that meant was Bert and I would go to feed her every 2 to 3 hours. So the first day it was every 2 hours. I would shuffle kind of from our room to the neonatal intensive care unit. That's the NICU. And sit by, this little clear bassinet, you see these on TV, and, I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but, there's, I don't know, all these different kind of bassinets in the room, and they put up a privacy shield around us, like a movable one, and then I would sit there in a rocking chair and feed her. We would, she was born only 5 pounds, 7 ounces. And one of the concerns was with her weight being so small, or so on the light side. They wanted us to make sure we kept her weight up or got her weight up, which isn't easy. So we had to do a combination of things, and we had a fantastic team of nurses that helped with this, and it like a 5-star, like amazing lactation consultant as well. So I told them, I would like to breastfeed, and that's what we, like they helped us continue with that goal. And I would, put her there, and they even showed me a special football hold so that her broken arm wouldn't be like pinned against my body and causing her discomfort or pain, potentially causing her to cry while we're feeding. So we were able to work it. The thing is she's so small, she wasn't able to latch and actually get what she needed. So they worked, and sorry if this is TMI, but I think, if I'm being totally honest on this channel, this is, kind of what we went through. And the real challenges that women have with breastfeeding. And I don't think that it's just because we have a tiny baby. I mean, these are real issues for especially first-time moms, the frustration of getting your baby to latch. They gave me something called a nipple shield, I believe it's called, or nipple guard. It's like a silicone thing that goes over your nipple and kind of holds a shape so that it makes it easier for them to like latch on. And so luckily it worked. And in between, when I would see her, I would use my pump, which was awesome because we had it there. And they showed me how to use my pump, and then they showed me the hospital grade pump, which is way cooler. And I'm like, dang. So I would be able to feed her, if she wasn't getting enough just from the shield, or if she was fighting it, which she did sometimes. The nipple shield did not always work. We would have something to give to her. And at first it's colostrum. I believe I'm saying that right. Which is not milk. You don't produce milk right away. And so we would literally pump. I would pump for like 15 minutes and produce something that was like, 3 milliliters, if I'm lucky. And so it would be in like a little syringe. And then the way we would feed it to her is I would put a finger into her mouth, and she would start suckling on that, and we'd take the syringe and then give her the colostrum. And that's basically how she was getting food for the first few days. And then now I'm very excited. I'm so excited about milk now. So I still, I pump when she's not taking my breast. So I will pump and produce like a bottle full for her. And so that way I have it. If, she's not taking it, then I give her the bottle. this hungry little monster is doing so good, and we're supplementing with formula as well to make sure she gets, enough food. And when she went to her first checkup on Friday, they were like, yeah, her weight is great, and there was no issue, and she was right where she was supposed to be. So I was, extremely relieved, and I know that that's not always the case. When babies are this small, that it's a real challenge to get them to have enough food. So, anyways, that was good. And now we're getting closer and closer to actually latching to me, and my breasts are. I'm sorry, I like to show them off, but I'm not showing them off in a way like, look at these puppies. They're huge, and they hurt, and the nipples hurt, and pumping hurts, and feeding hurts, and it is like a magical thing, but at the same time, it is also a like painful as heck thing. So mamas out there, if you can relate to this, or if you have stories, feel free to put it in the comments. It's like, it's magical for sure, and so sweet. And she falls asleep while eating, which is really adorable too. And then she gets very peaceful afterwards, and when she gets hungry, if I don't get her going before she gets hungry, well, she definitely cries and lets us know. So we are, we're figuring out a routine. I see the comment my mom just put on their warm compress. Awesome tip, and 100%. I actually have these really cool, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they're microwavable, and they're round, and they actually slip over. It's really nice to use them during pumping, or you can just warm them up and put them on your breast. And the other thing you could do too is freeze them, and then they can actually be used after breastfeeding or pumping, to help too. So I'm learning all these tricks, and we're getting there. It still doesn't, I'm still getting used to them. Sorry, I keep grabbing them. I'm just like, yeah, they don't feel like boobs anymore. They're just like these big milk producers. um, so anyway, enough about that stuff. I have to say, it's the first week was a bit of a blur. We were in the hospital until Thursday. So we were admitted on Saturday night around 10 p.m. Didn't go home until Thursday. Now, we were discharged from the hospital very early on Thursday because they really wanted us to see an orthopedic specialist for her arm. And the specialist was like, usually I don't see them right away. You go to, you wait a week, and then we'll take a look. But the nurses and the doctors in the NICU really wanted us to see a specialist because they were not, specialized in how to treat a broken arm. So they wanted me to hear it from somebody that was. The cool thing is, I got to go to Rush Hospital in Chicago, which is actually where I got my shoulder fixed. Same floor and everything, different doctor. But I was like kind of excited, and like, I had such a great experience here. Now my daughter will be taken care of here too. So the doctor told us what kind of how I told you at the beginning here. There's really nothing we have to do special to heal her arm. So we have an appointment to go back in 3 weeks just to see how it's doing. They'll probably do an X-ray. But that's, yeah, so we had to rush on Thursday morning for a 9:45 a.m. appointment with this doctor. The problem was they do their shift changes at our hospital where we had her, at 7 to 7:30, and then they all get going and stuff. So they had to try and discharge us very quickly after they did that shift change, and give us enough time to get over to a different hospital, which was about 20 to 25-minute drive. Not that bad, but it was all a lot. After we went to that appointment, which we got too late, but luckily they waited for us, we headed home, and man, mad props to Bert. He just jumped in organization mode, because you have to keep in mind, she came 3 weeks early. We have been setting up around here, the nursery, and just kind of organizing all of the gifts that we received and all the stuff that we bought. And luckily we had done a car seat like dry run, clicking it into the, getting it all set up in the car. We had just done that. There was a few other things we had kind of just, oh yeah, we had finished packing our hospital bag just in time. It was just kind of crazy, the things that happened like just in time for all this to happen. But yeah, we really thought we were coming home Saturday night after I was like, my water broke. Um, but I thought I just peed myself. And we went to the hospital, get peace of mind that it was just pee. Um, we really didn't think they would be admitting us that night, and they did. Luckily we had our bag and we stayed, with no problem. But when we got home, Bert jumped into this like super organization mode and getting everything ready, and moving things around and making sure I had a place to be comfortable. Um, he is like, he's ready to like wash the pumping stuff every time, and make sure I take my medicine on time, make sure that we're following a schedule for feeding and everything. We found an app that we love, and that we can both log diaper changes and feeding and pumping and everything, so we can keep up with this. Because let me tell you guys, it is really easy to lose track of time, when you're doing feedings every 3 hours, because that time goes by super fast. Because it's not exactly like it's not 3 hours from like when you're done feeding. It's like 3 hours from when you start. And if a feeding can take, if she's being really slow and stubborn, it can take 45 minutes for a feeding. And then you're lucky if she probably poops or pees right away, and then you got to try and get her to like take a nap or something, and then you try to take a nap, and before you know it, your alarm is going off to let you know it's time to feed her or pump again. Oh my god. So real raw feelings here. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm very thankful that Bert and I both have therapy, and we both kept our therapy appointments, I guess, last week. So I was able to, do some processing on Thursday morning. Or Thursday afternoon, and he was able to do his on Friday. And it's important. And I don't know what just happened there. I keep getting notifications. I'm doing this from my phone, so I think that's what's happening. Anyway, I'm very aware that there's so much to process for how laboring went, how scary it got when her heart rate wouldn't have a baseline, how guilty I felt for taking an epidural, thinking that's what caused her heart rate to change. There was a lot of what ifs to process, and I trust the doctors, and I didn't have a birth plan. It was 37 weeks. It was like on my to-do list to be like, oh, what are the things I'm hoping for that I can bring in and say, like yes to this and no to that, these things that you're supposed to, have in mind, but also be loose with. And I had nothing. And I had heard of certain things, and natural birth, and wanting very much to be able to labor and have a vaginal delivery. It's what I wanted. And and possibly do it with or without an epidural. I wanted to see how it went, but hindsight, after it was all over, I was very, I had a lot of guilt that my failure in planning caused a more complicated delivery. I feel like I got, the Pitocin too early, that it was extremely painful and that I feel very guilty for taking an epidural, and instead of just pushing through the pain. But Bert will probably tell you that the pain was extremely intense, and I labored for 3 hours through the very intense contractions. And I don't know, maybe my pain tolerance isn't what I thought it was. Anyway, the complications that came up probably were not from the epidural. And also all the things that unfolded, it probably was best that she came out via C-section, considering the positions she was in and the shape of my uterus and everything else that played into everything. And who knows, if she was caught on something and had a broken arm, how a vaginal delivery would have turned out. Whether her arm was broken, you know, I don't know, inside of me or during the C-section does not really matter, but it's just that there's this kind of conflict inside of me about that. But of course, I always come back to, but I've got this beautiful baby girl now, and I'm happy. A nurse, after I gave birth, like almost immediately after, and she was the best nurse in the room. Like, you could tell she's been through this a million times, and she knows her shit. She looked me in the eyes and she said, "You've just been through a trauma. You do not shove these feelings down. They're gonna come up, you know, these feelings are gonna come up, these memories are gonna come up over the next week or weeks or months. Do not shut them down. You have to process them." And I was really thankful she said that. And I think you guys know that that's kind of how I work anyway. Try really hard to process hard things. But the fact that the nurse, you know, said that to me, it stuck. And so that's why I'm kind of sharing these tough feelings here, that even though we have this baby girl, there's a lot of this stuff that comes up. Anyway, she wants to say hi. Do you hear her in the background? So anyway, yeah, I feel like I'm losing people here with all this sad stuff. So let's get to the good stuff here. So I'm going to show you our little baby and how she's doing. Hi. You're getting squirmy? Come here, little Amelia. Hi. I'm glad you're awake. Oh, yeah, you want to eat. Okay. Get this back over here. Hi. Okay. So, here she is. Oh, my little peanut. She's got the hiccups, which is what she used to have like every day inside of me a few times. Hi. She's absolutely amazing and expressive. And she's got this arm that she's starting to grab onto her wubba dub. What's this? Here's your wubba dub. And I know you can't see it from there, but she just grabbed it and like pulled it towards her mouth. It's just incredible that she's already doing this. I can't believe it. So anyway, forgive me too for meandering here through all these feelings. It's I don't know, everything. I feel a little still just slow, because maybe I'm on medication, or maybe I am on medication, and maybe that's slowing me down a little bit. My ear has been completely like I've popped, like I've gotten off an airplane, and it seems to be getting worse every day, and now it's just a ringing, and I don't know what's going on, and I need to figure it out, and I feel disoriented a bit because of it. These hiccups are adorable. She's falling asleep again already. She loves cuddles, whether it's with me or Bert. She loves just being close to us, and she's just a great kid, and I cannot wait to watch her grow up. Yeah. You looking at me, looking at you? Nights have been tough, you know. No surprise there. Bert and I are figuring out a routine. We only got home Thursday, so what do we have? We had Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. It's only been 4 nights at home. Um, and I didn't know that babies do this, but apparently they do kind of this, what a nurse called today, cluster eating, which means they'll eat and then they'll all of a sudden um, eat, want to eat again, like right away instead of after their like 2 or 3 hour normal period. And she's decided to do this in the middle of the night yesterday and the night before. Yeah, you think that's funny? She's like, "What's up? That's what I do, because I'm the boss around here." She's fallen back asleep here. So, we've been managing though, and Bert's been great about taking like a shift during the night. I'll prepare breast milk so that he can feed that to her, so I can actually sleep through one of the feedings. So it's pretty good. And then, he'll be able to sleep through a feeding or two because he doesn't have to get up for that. We're getting better and better. She's actually doing a lot better with with doing the.
Honey, I'm home.
Hi, I'm doing the live stream.
I know, I'm watching.
Oh, okay. Well, here comes Bert. Bert just had a dentist appointment, so just normal stuff. He had a haircut the other day. Trying to keep a normal schedule somewhat, but leaving the house is a little challenging. So let me get into just some other things that have happened in the past week. I participated in a postpartum photography shoot for Lauren and her company, Honey Brown Photography. And if you haven't seen it yet, I believe she tagged, or it's shared on the, and if I haven't yet, I will, the Baby Talk Facebook page. It's incredible. She had, I think it was 5 or 6 postpartum mamas out there. I was definitely the freshest postpartum mom by far. Everyone was like, "What are you doing on your feet? Why are you out here?" And but I found it to be a really special opportunity to be sharing what a body looks like. What was that, Friday? So that would have been Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like 5 days postpartum, with a big old belly, sausage feet, sausage legs. I was swollen completely, from the knees down, just as big as they could possibly get. And holding my tiny little baby. Okay, so I've got a fun story for you. Lauren asked, "Well, would you mind, getting the baby naked for the photos?" And I said, "Oh, sure, no problem. I'm sure you can see where this is going." She, while we were standing, I felt a warm dribble go down my leg, and she was peeing on me. Okay, fine, whatever. I took her burp rag, which was nearby, and just wiped it up, and we continued the photo shoot. It was kind of, a laughable moment, and oh, how cute. It's just pee. And mind you, I'm standing there in my underwear and bra, so I am, I felt it directly on my leg. And then we get into a group photo with all 5 or 6 of us, instead of just, Lauren did some solo shots of each person, and then we did a big group photo at the end. And we're standing there, and I feel that same sensation, and I'm like, "Okay, it's just pee, just take the photo." And everyone's looking at me like, "It's not just pee." So I had warm poop going down my leg. But it was laughable, and people were like, "Oh no," and I'm like, it's fine. And we again just cleaned it up real quick, and it was what it was. So anyway, fun to be peed and pooed on, on day 5. But those photos turned out, well, we've only seen the group photo so far, so that's what's shared online, and then I can't wait to see what she got of just me and Amelia. she asked me to do some like breastfeeding photos, which was a challenge because she's not exactly taking my breast as is right now, but maybe she caught just the right photo. We'll see. And hey, you know, the real raw truth of it is how hard it is for them to latch at this age and size. So, you know, photography tells a story. She's passed out right now. She's good. And so that happened on Friday. Saturday, we had Grandma and Grandpa over. They met baby Amelia, so my parents came over, and they were just so excited to meet her, and that was really, really special. On Sunday, I begged Bert. He's like, it's raining, we're not going. It's, you know, it's too much, you know, to be leaving the house. But I told him how special it would be to see my soccer team, the Honey Badgers. And it's the last game of the season, and I think that's what he was like, okay, fine, you know, we'll go if it's the last game of the season. But we were also playing Schwaben, which means a couple of the girls that we went to Spain with last year for the tournament would be there. So even more of a reason I was like, we have to go, we have to go. So we got her all ready, and we went out and introduced her to the soccer team, and it was just super special. And that Auntie Kim got to meet the baby for the first time, and Kelly was playing, so Auntie Kim and Auntie Kelly, and it was just so special. It was just awesome to have Amelia at the Honey Badgers game, which has been, you know, family to me, the soccer. And then Bert had a game with our co-ed team right after that, so we went straight from the Honey Badgers all the way back to the city at the fire pitch, and introduced her to the co-ed team. And so, you know, these are friends that we've been playing with for, what, 10 years or so. So it's also really special. So a lot of these people are the people that attended, you know, the baby showers we had. And it was nice to be like, here's what we're celebrating in real life. There you go. Look at you, already turning towards the camera. You're ready for this, kid. So since then, I've been trying to do less because I'm doing too much. Bert has been extremely good about trying to get me to do less, taking really good care of us and getting the nursery ready. We got our rug in place and figured out what the layout's gonna be, and just need a few finishing touches for the nursery. Like the crib mattress has been purchased for us on our registry. We just haven't received it yet. And yeah, just, I don't know. I think that's really all we're waiting on, right, Bert?
There's a few other things, but
yeah, that's right. There's a bookcase that we want that we actually just put on the registry today. It wasn't there before, so I added it, and we'll order it. You know, we don't have to have it right away. So I put it on there because it seems like people are still looking to buy things for us. I'm like, well, maybe it'll be one of those things if people want to get us, they can. I'm not soliciting for that kind of stuff on the live stream. I'm just I'm just saying how we're waiting on a couple things.
Gift cards.
Oh yeah, and we have gift cards on the registry. So by us adding it to the registry, we can apply the gift cards to it, and also get like a discount on it there too. So it's a win-win. Yeah. What a life on the internet side. I saw that comment pop up. Yeah, going to soccer games already. Oh, and we were up at 4 a.m. to watch the U.S. women's national team on Sunday morning. Disappointingly, get knocked out of the World Cup due to PKs. We had 2 chances to win that game, or 2 chances to win in PKs, and they couldn't lock it in. So Bert and I are inspired to make sure that Amelia will never miss a PK when she grows up. So we'll be doing that training starting as soon as she can walk. Right? Yeah, you're gonna be a striker. Her feet are crazy wild, like always kicking. So we know we've made a soccer player. Maybe a dancer. I'm not sure. Whatever she chooses to be is fine, as long as she's also a soccer player. Okay. What else have I missed anything? I talked about the challenges we have with sleeping and eating and all that. We keep checking in with each other, Bert and I do. There's moments where I feel like he's I don't know, just on like, are you okay? But really it's the sleep deprivation that, definitely the sleep thing. And we have never been like big nappers, but trust me now, like if we get an opportunity, we can fall asleep pretty darn quick. Uh, and it is really, really cute to, I don't know, he'll fall asleep wherever, it's precious, I guess, just kind of seeing us all napping sometimes at odd hours of the day. So, we're doing okay. We're doing better than okay, I think. We're getting by here. We're appreciating our the companies we work for giving us our space to be a family, and that's been a challenge for me too, letting go of work. I really, really, really want to help make sure the transition to the guy who's replacing me goes well, but I've been kind of told to back off, and we've got it, Lynn, and we'll figure it out. And I'm like, how will you figure it out? In my mind, I cannot, like, I'm like, there's just too much I know that you don't know that you won't figure out, but they will. And you know what? People will keep playing sports even if I'm not there to make sure that they do. So, but I do appreciate the time to, break away from work. And my eye has stopped twitching, which I think is a telltale sign that maybe I was too stressed at work. Bert's also done a great job breaking away. He had a meeting with the person who replaced him today, and other than that, like he's been great about, just being present here at home with us. And yeah, like we're focused here. We're focused on this new life, and I love it. So yeah, that's where we are. Thanks for the comments and thanks for the support, guys. And to those of you that watch and don't comment, and thank you for your support too, and for following our story. And we've received a few gifts from people that have been completely a wonderful surprise. So thank you for those if you're one of those people too. Again, I'm not soliciting for more gifts, but anything that we've received has been so appreciated and adored, and made us feel so much support for our journey and for our new life, and the connection that you may be feeling from when you went through this in your life, or you hope to go through someday. So thanks for helping me continue to do this every Monday with you. So I'm going to sign off, and we'll connect next week for a week 2 update, and hopefully more positive reports. But again, I'll keep it real. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you later. Here's one last look at our baby Amelia, who's very much asleep right now. Here she is. Well, I can't bend her quite forward towards the camera. There she is. She's got a little woman up here. Alrighty. I'm sorry, baby. All right. Bye.